Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Alex and today we're going to take a closer look of a very interesting ceramic die watch by Rado. The Rado Captain Cook model was reintroduced back in 2017. It was originally introduced back in the 1960s. To be exact, it was in 1962. And the current version of the Rado Captain Cook model features many design cues from the original watch, and they have kept the Captain Cook spirit alive, but in a modern package with modern technology and especially with their high-tech ceramic cases. So the current Captain Cook model lineup consists of a couple of different versions. We have versions in stainless steel in the 37 and 42mm case size. We have bronze models in the 42mm case size. And we also have a couple of ceramic models in a 43mm case size. And there are two different versions of the ceramic Captain Cook. We have one that is called a high-tech ceramic, and we have one that's called high-tech plasma ceramic. And it's the latter that I have with me today. There are two versions available of this watch, either with a gray dial or a blue dial. I have the blue dial with me. I must say that Rado is a brand that personally for me I've always associated with their quartz watches from the 80s, 90s in black ceramic with a pretty not so appealing design in my eyes. However, with the introduction or reintroduction of the Captain Cook back in 2017, they really re-established themselves on the market with an interesting take on their legendary Captain Cook watch. So Rado is moving into the right direction, I believe, with developing new interesting models and focusing very much on their ceramic material, and that is what they are known for from the past. So this year they introduced 6 models in the Captain Cook line with ceramic cases. We have a black version, a olive version, and the plasma ceramic version. The black and olive comes with either the ceramic bracelet or a rubber strap, and the plasma ceramic one only comes on the bracelet. So 6 versions in total, and let's dive into the basics of the watch. As I mentioned earlier, the case measures 43mm in diameter and is about 14.6mm thick. So it's not a small watch, and the lug-to-lug measurement is 49.8mm. So this is nothing for the person that generally are afraid of wrist presence. But I must say, even on my 16.5cm wrist, it's not terribly large. It's a bit thick, I must say, and it really gives you a lot of wrist presence. The monoblock case is made out of ceramic, but we have a titanium case back. So the plasma ceramic effect is achieved by putting the ceramic case in an oven at 20,000 degrees in Celsius, and that activates some kind of gases in the process that gives this watch that metallic sheen. It doesn't look as the other matte ceramic watches by Rado, but more as of a steel watch, if you know what I mean. But the whole process of making this watch is quite cool, and there's where Rado should have some cred, because I really think the cases are well built and breathes quality in the design and construction. So the other part that's not ceramic on this watch is the bezel and the crown. They are in stainless steel. The whole case and bracelet has a matte finish apart from the polished center links in the bracelet, and we'll talk a bit more about the bracelet in a bit. The bezel is a unidirectional bezel with solid clicks. It feels good when you operate the bezel. It has a ceramic insert with a cool brushed finish. It also has superluminova in the triangle on the bezel, and the watch is also ISO 6425 certified, so it's a true die watch, and it's certified by ISO, and it's water resistant down to 300 meters. So moving along from the case, let's talk a bit about the dial. We have a box-shaped sapphire crystal with a dome, and also the dial is domed, so it gives you a very playful dial, so to say, in different lighting condition. It's a lot of things going on. It was sometimes hard to shoot this watch because of the AR coating is not maybe the best. I think it's a combination between the dome of the dial and the domed crystal itself. But it looks pretty cool and it grabs your attention when worn on the wrist. We have Superluminova in the hands and in the hour markers. Apart from that, we have the trademark Rado anchor at 12 o'clock or just below 12 o'clock. And this one actually rotates when you wear the watch, but it doesn't rotate all the time, or it doesn't disturb you really. It's a subtle rotation that sometimes when you look at the watch, you see, okay, the anchor position right there, and then next time you look, it's somewhere else. So it's a nice touch, and it's a nod to the heritage and the original Captain Cook diver. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the blue dial version. There's also a gray dial version. I think they both look nice. This one is a bit more subtle. It's a grayish blue. I like the colorway. It blends in nicely with the rest of the case and the bracelet, so that combination I really like. Mentioning the bracelet is well built. It feels good. I don't really like the design of the bracelet. It should have been a bit more sharp, to say. It's pretty soft around the edges. I think a more sharp design of the bracelet would harmonize better with the case, but that's just me. We also have push pins in the bracelet, which I'm not a big fan of. I think for a watch in this price category, they could afford to have screws in the bracelet. It's just so much easier to size the bracelet, for example. The clasp is a tri-fold clasp in titanium. So it's a hidden clasp design with the Rado logo on the clasp. And the clasp feels really solid and nice. And it's a good thing that they choose titanium to harmonize with the rest of the case materials, which is the ceramic. Moving on to the movement, we have a modified ETA movement. It's called the Rado Caliber R763 automatic movement with 80 hours of power reserve. This is a movement that's been used by other brands within the Swatch group. So good power reserve, but the movement itself is nothing fancy, and considering the price point, maybe there should be room for a nicer quality movement. We'll see what Rado has up their sleeve in the future. I know there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I'm looking forward to see what they have in their pipeline. So yeah, that's it for the movement. It's a workhorse caliber, nothing too fancy. In this version you have a closed case back as mentioned earlier, so you don't see the movement, which is fine by me. I don't really see the necessity to see these kind of movements on display. And yeah, price wise, this version is 3,700 euro, and it's the most expensive version of the Captain Cook in their current catalog. So I mean, it's not a cheap watch, but considering what you get, I think it's pretty reasonably priced. And if you don't want the high-tech plasma ceramic version, there are also the ceramic version, which are a bit cheaper. And you can also shave off a couple of €100 if you go for a rubber strap option, which is available on the black and the olive Captain Cook. So for the pros and cons of this watch, on the pro side, we have this very nicely robust and very expensive. You get the expensive feel, at least, of the case. It feels very nice, and I like the high-tech ceramic material. I prefer the olive green version actually the most. It's not a shocker, as if you watch any of my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of green. So the materials are very nice. I like the robust feeling of the watch. It really has a nice quality feel to it. However, on the downside for me, it's the wearability of the watch. 50 millimeters lug to lug, 14.6 in thickness, and 43 millimeter is a bit too large for my wrist in my personal opinion. But if you like bigger watches and you like the wrist presence, then don't be afraid to try this one out, because I really think overall it gives you a very good watch for the buck. On the downside as well, we have the push pins in the bracelet. For this price tag, I think you should have screws in the bracelet to have an easier time sizing the bracelet to fit your wrist. And also I think they should focus on maybe a bit more high-end movement. I have no problems with the ETA movement, but there are better movements for a watch in this price tag. Let me know, guys, what you think about this watch, the Captain Cook in general, or the high-tech plasma ceramic version of this watch. Don't forget to like, comment and share this video, and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me if you help this channel grow. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys in a bit.